I got a few minutes here because I'm on my way home and I'm tired. Shout out to everybody today that was with me. We had over 92,000 people that tuned in. That was crazy for Mayor Adams' arraignment today. So shout out to that and everything like that. I am tired from that. I was out like literally since early this morning. So I will say that. Number one, I want to start this by saying this. Earlier, I didn't want nobody to misconstrue what I was saying. And so if you see this on a replay or whatever you see it or whatever, I want to make this very clear. The comments that I made earlier about African Americans, before I even begin this whole diatribe, the comments I made earlier about African Americans and me not being like very trustworthy of them, it stems from a whole bunch of harassment that I've had here on the SHAP, and I'm tired of it. It's been going on for a while or whatever. So I want to apologize to anybody that I might have inflamed, anybody I might have insulted, anybody that might have taken it the wrong way or whatever. It's just the way I see it in comparison to years ago. Not even years ago. Let's say even 7 years ago, how things used to be. So one second, guys. I want to say I apologize to anybody I may have offended earlier based on that. I really didn't mean that. So, if you, I wouldn't even consider taking my apologies, but just mind me and understand what I'm talking about when I say to you. It really stems from a lot of harassment that I'm not involved in. You know what I mean? Like I'm not doing the same thing as somebody else. That's why you see people in the chat and things like that. So today, I just read up. I was doing my due diligence or whatever, because like I always tell you guys, I don't care what end of the spectrum it's on. Hold on one second. Like I always tell you guys, I don't care what end of the spectrum it's on. I'm always going to report stuff the way it's supposed to be reported, right? And so today, some new allegations came up from a Jane Doe. This Jane Doe states that Diddy somehow or another drugged her with some unnamed substance, put her incapacitated. During this time, she was sexually taken advantage of, and as she was taken sexually advantage of, later on, she was impregnated. Subsequently, after she was realizing she was impregnated, I'm assuming she was talking about Puff, and that's just based on a proclamation. I don't know. This is just so this woman has said. Based on that alone, I guess now you have this subsequent thing where now Blank Miami is accused of repeatedly calling this girl and encouraging her to go on down there to choices, if you understand what I'm saying. And so, yeah, I'm just like, okay, that's a heck of an accusation or whatever. There's been many accusations or whatever. I will say this, yo, Skinny, you gotta straighten this out. It's looking crazy. Every week there's a new accusation. I don't know if some of this stuff is contrived or whatever the case may be. I don't want him to go down like this. I mean, it means a lot to me too, because I worked for the company for so long, and now I don't have a story to tell my grandkids. You know what I mean? I mean, that's really what it boils down to. If the worst of the worst happens. I don't do interviews or anything like that, but this is just my statement as far as is concerned with Puff. If Puff is found guilty of anything or whatever the case may be, I'm going to remind you that I'm going to recognize that. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, no, that's not what's going on or whatever the case may be, because that's just not quite the case. I would be being delusional, and that's not what I live by. At the same time, anybody can make an accusation, and when you have a pillar of accusations mirroring each other over and over and over and over again, especially like this new accusation that this woman was drugged and somehow or another, one second. This woman's claiming she was drugged and she was somehow incapacitated after she was drugged with some type of substance that she can't understand was shoved down her throat at the time. And she became incapacitated. Somebody, I don't know exactly who it was, but somebody decided that what they wanted to do was, all right, my nigga, damn. Somebody decided they wanted to take advantage of her. And coincidentally, somehow or another, this woman reportedly became impregnated. And after she became impregnated, Young Miami continuously, and by her claims, contacted her, telling her to go on down there to Choices, if you understand what I'm saying. Kareem Smith, what's going on? Kareem, if you're still in here, please write my cash app in here. I only got a few minutes with y'all, man. I want to make sure I make a I don't know if this story is true or not, but I will say this much. And if you guys couldn't hear me because of that loud train, let me repeat it. So there's a new report out today, a new lawsuit filed, and this new lawsuit, the details within this new lawsuit state that Puff somehow, that's who's being accused, somehow or another, subsequently drugged this young woman with something, or whatever the case may be, a substance that she can't identify. She says she doesn't know what it is. And somehow or another, in between this, some type of trice happened. And in between this trice, she became impregnated, right? And subsequently after that, somehow or another, Young Miami decided that she was going to call this girl and convince this girl repeatedly to happen to, going down there to Choices. I don't want to say the word because then, sometimes this app acts funny when you mention that word depending on the connotation you use. But that's what she's alleging. There's a new lawsuit filed. I guess somebody else will be trying to get their day into court or whatever. It's erotic. I've literally been at that site 3 times this week, 3 times within 7 days. Last week I was covering Puff, and now this week I'm covering Man. Do I think there's some type of witch hunt? Do I think there's something going on here? Yeah. I'm going to admit this, and I'm going to say this. Puff, it would lean towards to say you've done something. I don't know what the extremity or what the metric is exactly what you've done, but it would lead me to believe that you've done something. As far as extremities, I think that's what's in question right now. And if some of these claims are as extreme as they are, I think that'll be dead to be sold. I'm going to be covering this. I'm going to be on it. Of course, this is my, this is my own team. That's why I'm not denouncing the team. I'm not denouncing the people, because when I do that, I'm denouncing a lot of people that I worked with for a lot of years. And so I want to see what the courts say in this matter versus the court on YouTube saying that makes any sense to you. And so with that being said, these are my, hold on one second. These are my friends, these are co-workers of mine, these are people I've known for years. In my experience dealing with the company, and somebody tried to come in here the other day and say some real slick stuff. And they said, well, you as a cloud setup, you don't know what I've done. The Fear Factory that somebody would come into your chat room and tell you who you do or don't know, or who you do or don't talk to still, is beyond me. It really is. You know what I'm saying? And salute to you if that's what you believe or whatever the case may be. I beg to differ. Let's say that. I beg to differ, So watch out. You're welcome. So I want to say this to you guys, right? If Skinny is guilty, I'm going to be the first one up here saying something about it. I don't give a rat's ass about the lineage of the company at that point. I can't defend that shit. Now, I'm not going to necessarily go along with the court system like many of y'all been doing it. Once I get home, I'm going to have a whole conversation about that. Because we got to start asking some questions about some of the folks that claim that they so pro-black, but they online siding with the federal government. I have a problem with that. Some people on here acting like Scooby-Doo. Give me 1 second, y'all. Some people on here acting like Scooby-Doo and Velma. You know what I'm saying? And it's quite sickening, to be quite honest with you. The amount of effort that is going into some of these bloggers that is not going into Epstein, Weinstein, or anybody else that has done the atrocities that they have been convicted for at this point, And so if you're going to put as much energy as you are into Diddy and Mayor Adams, put that same energy into Epstein. Put that same energy into Weinstein. We need that. We need to survive in Weinstein documentary that somehow or another has never been filmed by anybody in the African American community or the Latin community. We need that surviving Epstein documentary that somehow or another has never been filmed or documented in the African American community or whatever. A pedophile is a pedophile. Don't matter what color they are. It doesn't matter what gender they are. There's women that assault men too. If many people don't know, R. Kelly mentions that he was first assaulted when he was a young boy. Many people don't mention that. They throw that out the window. People that get abused, they abuse people. I'll say it for you one more time. 1 second. People that will abuse people. And that's what I think has happened with some of these people or whatever. I think something might even happen to Puff, whatever, but I don't know. I can't prove that or not deny that. One thing I will say is this. Skinny, for the moment, until we get to the bottom of all this, I think I speak for a lot of people that just can't speak or don't want to speak up, so I'll speak for you fuckers. We with you. Even if it's silently for some of them for obvious reasons, we with you. I done talked to enough people and they say, yo, I support them, but you know what they're gonna do to you. You know what I mean? I won't say that it's support, but we're keeping an open eye and we're trying to see what's going on. You know what I mean? And hold on 1 second. I'm not one of the types that believes in jury by trial here on the social media. I think it's poisonous. I saw what happened at the Jonathan Majors trial, which many of y'all saw me cover that. I covered the full 2 weeks of that. It was only me and another gentleman that was African American that was down there, and another minority that was a Puerto Rican gentleman. And we were the only people in the press area. I always speak about that. Jonathan Majors had no support. There was just people there to condemn him. If you remember that clip that I put up, there was a particular woman, I don't see her around too more either, but there was a particular woman from, I believe it was People Magazine, I think it was, that was very nasty, showed her disbelief. What you guys saying in here? Hey, what's going on, Kareem Smith? That's old news. Not saying it's important, but it's not a trending topic no more. Let me tell you something, right? Anybody that sits around, this is the type of people I'm talking about. Let's talk about this for just 2 seconds and then I'm gonna go, because I don't like people like that. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Just 1 second, guys. I got this loud truck in front of me. Just give me 1 pure second. You know what I don't like? Let me tell you something. I've been running this show for 5 years by myself. I ascertained all the followers I got by myself. All the uploads that you see, nobody helps me with those edits. As far as traveling and everything like that, nobody helps me out with my costs. I pay for this stuff myself. So I'm gonna say to you respectfully, sir, what's your name again? Magic. I don't need nobody to co-pilot with me. You understand what I'm saying? And if that's the way you live your life on YouTube, that's not a trending topic. And that means you are more caught up in the matrix, sir, than anybody else knows. You're trying to get other people to join you. It's not about trending topics. This is not the way and the reason that YouTube was created. Yes, we are here talking about Puff because I wasn't privy to this. I was covering Mayor Adams today. And if you clearly watch there, this is the 3rd time I've been at that same courthouse within a week. Hey, Lexi, what's going on? How you doing, sweetheart? You know, and so I'm gonna stay with y'all a few more minutes than I would. I'm privy to honestly and truthfully be like, there's something going on. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know if it's a political play or whatever. And many people didn't catch me today when I was down there at the hearing from Mayor Adams. He pleaded not guilty. He also not only pleaded out guilty, but they're going to file a dismissal of the case, and that's what they're hoping for. So if you guys did catch up with that. But me personally, hold on 1 second. I don't like key men. I don't have time for key men tonight. It is 12 o'clock at night. We got grown men online talking about the key. Go find you a girlfriend. All these girls out here, you sitting in a man's chat room talking about the key. Jesus Christ, better not a war break out. Ladies, y'all gonna be in trouble. I want to see this trial adjudicated in the way and the manner it's supposed to be. Once it is, yeah, Lexi, I was so sick and tired of that. You know what I'm talking about. Once this story is adjudicated and ended or whatever the case may be, then I'll get my ended verdict on it. as of right now, I don't have an ending verdict on this because we're only in the first week, and I think a lot of people come to condemnation and just said, and we're going to have trial online, and I'm just not with that. I'm sorry. I'm just not. I think it's dangerous. It's no different than back in the days when they had the pitchforks and torches. Hey, let's go into the town square and hang somebody. You know what I'm saying? I heard she's a witch. You know what I mean? And I think we just returned back to the primitive. So, I remember one time I took out of Allah's School of Mecca one time. I think I'm going to re-upload that. Hold on one second. Allah's School of Mecca. And that's with Lord Jamal and the world famous Brand Nubian. They filmed that video, "Move On, Black Man, Move On," And I had one of the elder guards that was out there at the time this video was recorded. I have him on camera with me. I'm going to re-upload that video. But one of the things in that song was, "Move on, black man, move on. You gotta move on, black man, move on." I love the end chorus of that. One of the lyrics in that really stuck out was the beginning. And he said, the duty of a civilized man is to do what? Civilize uncivilized. So maybe y'all might like how I say some things and how harsh I say them or how I direct them. But trust me, it's in intent to make sure that you guys get the message and don't do some stupid shit or follow stupid people here online. There's a lot of people on here that only have the conception of trying to make money as far as cash apps and things like that based on bashing their own people. And whether or not you privy and you see that right now or you don't see that right now, you will come to fruition and you will come to the conclusion that that's what it was. Whether it be 10 years from now, maybe 5 months from now. You're going to understand what I mean. There's a lot of people making a lot of money off of bashing Mayor Adams. Mayor Adams, literally, when I was down at the courthouse today, there was this girl that pulled up, and I know she did it because she saw two brown faces there. It was me and it was another girl. I think she's from CNN. Shout out to her. She's a camera girl. And so me and her was standing. She was packing up her stuff or whatever, and they were throwing it in the van. And so this woman pulled up out of nowhere. She didn't speak to me. She didn't speak to the girl, the black girl that was around me. What she did, and that sister that I'm talking to, I talked to you, so you know my pain. So if you see this, that's cool. Now that's a sister right there. You understand what I'm saying? She was a sister, for real, 100%. So I don't know what she was, but she was something. She wasn't American per se in traditional sense. Well, light skin. She pulled up, and she says at the time, yeah. What's going on here? Playing the whole charade. What's going on here? Oh, wasn't he guilty of $10 million? And $10 million is $100,000. And based on the dismissal claim today, we're looking at it as it was a prior campaign staffer that they're saying that the reason for dismissal is because this woman is actually the woman that testified to the federal government. They're having a statement now that Mayor Adams didn't have anything to do with it. So that's why I'm not so quick to condemn these men until I see some evidence. You know what I mean? I want to see the evidence presented. I want to see what the case is. I want to see what's going on. There's a lot of people out here. Hold on one second. I'm about to go in a second. Yeah, I got to go. There's a lot of people out here reporting that Diddy is telling on people and all this stuff or whatever. That is not the truth. Diddy is invoking his right to testify. I'll say one more time. Diddy is invoking his right to testify for himself. Hey, what's going on from London? You knew because the mayor had a diamond earring in his ear. So what do you say about Trump then? I don't like false advocacies, running it back and being like, I knew when he had an earring in his ear, he was trouble. I don't like stuff like that. I think it doesn't have any substance. I don't like conversations like that. I really don't. The mayor got a diamond earring. What did you say that your message got retracted? That's what I'm wondering. But anyway, listen, give me a second, guys. They got this loud truck behind me. Give me 1 second. I'm not gonna sit here, like I said, and condemn both of these men until I get some evidence. What makes it more apparent to me, and what we really need to be paying attention to, perhaps, is how quick so many people of the same people's races is evidently on a full-scale campaign in order to get cash apps and things of that nature to try to condemn these men as harshly as they have. Nor will I defend either one of these men if they're guilty. How's that sound? So you got my solemn promise on that. I've told you before. I made a statement for you before. I'll say it to you as blatantly as I can to the whole crowd. And you can go back and you can gossip as much as you want to, however you want to. But my thing stays the same. If any one of these guys is guilty, and the way I've been covering these cases for like the past year and a half, I will tell you straight up and down for my other better behalf, because pure simple fact, my journalistic integrity is bent on this. I'm going to call it out. I'm going to call it out justly, how maybe some of y'all would have wanted to do it, or whatever the case may be, but I will not stand for that, and I will not defend that. You know what I mean? There's a lots of things to the story. A lot of people, I'll tell you this too real quick. Make sure that you go back and you look at my videos, and you look at this, especially the shorts, and look at the subsequent order in which things invoke, and the time dates and the time snaps. So meaning, look at the date in which it was uploaded, and look what happened since then. The other day, I uploaded something for y'all, and a lot of y'all missed it. And I'll tell you, I'll be dropping y'all little gems, which y'all got to pick up on it. It's not today. If y'all out there, make sure y'all pick up on what I'm saying. Y'all smart, so y'all get what I'm saying. You understand what I mean? So make sure you check into that. I leave y'all a lot of clues. I leave y'all a lot of little, crumbs and things like that. But I can't tell you a lot of things straight out because, but make sure you look at my shorts so you'll understand. One particular video I threw up just recently. Pay attention, kids. One particular video I threw up just recently was of a certain woman that was with Erykah Badu. I told Huggy Pampers should be sharing that shit everywhere. You tell her I said so too. Huggy, I know you watching me because Arch Nemesis came over here today. Shout out to Detroit, that's all I would say. Shout out to Detroit. I told that broad today. I said, look here, I ain't got no problem with you. You know what I'm saying? Me and Huggy are subsided as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? I'm on a whole different mission. But Huggy Pampers, make sure you watch that video. I got a couple more for you too. You know? There's some things that were said that might have some validity to them. And there's some things, and I've always said there's some things that just don't have any validity to them. You know what I mean? They're put there in place to push other product, let's say it like that, from certain individuals on here blogging. Second thing I wanted to say, you're not a kid though. I don't know, who's he saying? They need to get a minority legal dream team. I don't think they need to get a minority anything. They need to get who's ever the best lawyer. Just because you get a black lawyer doesn't mean you got good representation. Just because you get any type of lawyer doesn't mean you have good representation. It's the lawyer's reputation that you're worried about. How many cases has he won or whatever. That's for me. And how good is he to persuade a jury that you're innocent? That's the real questions, That's the real questions there. I'll talk more about this in a little bit. I'm going to go back live with you guys or whatever, and talk about this again. Hold on 1 second, guys. Oh, thanks, Hector. I appreciate that. Hector with the donation. Appreciate that. I got on here when an ex-friend came on, but we had an emergency, and so I missed it. Yeah, I didn't. What I did was I cut it up. You know what I'm saying? Like I really cut it up. And what I did was usually, let me tell you what I mean, Lexi. Usually on here, like with the puff day that I was covering, listen, I just missed my joint, but I'm gonna fuck with y'all. But like the puff thing that I was covering, usually what I do is I will cover everything from the lawyers, anything that I can get and everything that I can get. And so, Usually that's the way I do my lives. You know, I don't front on nobody or nothing like that. But this time I said, yo, I gotta admit the part that's the glue. You know what I'm saying? Which would be Mayor Adams' appearance. And Mayor Adams and his lawyer's statement was Suspiro. So I said now because, and that's why I made the statement I made today. And I just wanted, like I said, I wanted to apologize if I infuriated anyone or anyone was embarrassed or felt insulted or whatever. I just feel like, you know, I'm in my 40s, you know what I'm saying? So I remember a time when African Americans are a little bit more glued back together. And I'm half black and half Latino. And like, you know, it turns some people off when I speak Spanish on here. I don't know. But it does matter to me. My mother, she grew up, you know, one of those people. We had the peacock feather and the wicker chair. We had that whole decor up in our house at one point. And so my mother was very proud of who she was, and my father was very proud of who he was, you know. And they both represented black, you know. And I speak of my aunt. You know, nobody listens to when I tell these stories. I tell them a million times. But we grew up like that. And I didn't want to disrespect my mother, but I remember my aunt, they did kind of the same move on her. And I remember when they did the same. And so when I look and I say, hey, support my channel because we're doing this and you can see it visibly, you know what I'm saying? You're seeing what's going on and you're seeing versus the competition that's talking about me. They don't have the same type of material. They don't have the same type of numbers or anything else. I think at that point it would become very apparent what's going on. And so when y'all hear me and a lot of y'all say, quote unquote, oh, he's yapping. No, these are real issues that I have going on or whatever based on my fact that my association with that company, Bad Boy Entertainment, and how long it was. I worked with some guys that were great guys, and I love those guys in depth. That will never change. It'll never change. Chrome, that little beat, you know what I'm saying? All those guys, nah, it'll never change. You know, but what is the question is, and I know none of those guys have ever done anything either. And I know a lot of people are reaching out to them to interview them and stuff like that. I just got a phone call the day before yesterday that I talked about here on live, where I was instructed, yo, listen, don't be doing no interviews, nothing like that. I ain't gonna tell you who said it, but it was said. And you know what I'm saying? I had to adhere to that because this is a family, this is a team, you know, Bad Boy Entertainment. So I don't understand why you guys would be so enthralled to take down Pump but not be wanting to, you know, engage with me. It just blows my mind, you know what I mean? Thank you, Benny Ness. I know. I hope my mom is proud of me. You know what I'm saying? I hope she is. I hope she is. Thank you very much. I look good for my age. I'm 87. That's funny. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Gotta tell him Cassie was planning something. I don't know. But listen, guys, I gotta go. I'm gonna get back with y'all when I get home, and I'm gonna get live again. Probably like give me like an hour, hour and a half. So make sure y'all tune in. Get the donations ready. Lexi, thank you. Hector, thank you. Salud la gente latino, tú sabes, claro. Me voy para ahora. Para la gente latino, buenas noches. En su entra para dentro la sama, tú sabes. Para la gente negro, salud. El americano negro. Esto es mi gente, tú. En la sangre, en mi corazón, tú sabes. So, claro que sí. Ahora. Eu sempre amor. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit.